September 1971. Pub bombs, snipers, and the launch of the DUP. In September 1971, Apple Records released John Lennon's second solo studio album, Imagine. In Northern Ireland at the time, there would have been a lot of people imagining a time of peace and harmony in place of the war zone that they currently found themselves in. Following on from the bloodbath that was August 1971, September continued the upsurge in violence across Northern Ireland, with the IRA exploding several bombs in response to the introduction of internment at the beginning of September. The bombings targeted various cities and towns, including Belfast, Derry, Londonderry, Newry, and Armagh. The exact number of bombs detonated and the extent of the damage varied in each location. One bomb in particular in Belfast wrecked the headquarters of the Ulster Unionist Party, resulting in injuries to several people. Another major development in September 1971, although no official date has been placed on it, was the formation of the UDA. Several loyalist defence associations came together and formed the Ulster Defence Association. The UDA was to quickly become the largest of the loyalist paramilitary organisations in Northern Ireland. The smaller Ulster Freedom Fighters, which was responsible for many sectarian killings, was considered a cover name for the UDA. The UDA was a legal organisation between 1971 and the 11th of August 1992, when it was finally proscribed. It's reported that the first meeting was chaired by Billy Hull, with Alan Moon as its vice-chair. Moon was quickly replaced by Jim Anderson and had left the organisation by the time of its formal launch in September. On the 3rd of September 1971, a baby girl and an Ulster Defence Regiment soldier were killed in separate shooting incidents in Northern Ireland. 17-month-old toddler, Angela Gallagher, was killed after being hit by a ricochet bullet in her pram during an IRA sniper attack at a British Army patrol in the Ivy Drive, Ivy Street area of the Falls Road, Belfast. UDR soldier Francis Veitch, 23, was shot dead while on guard duty outside Kinnorley Royal Ulster Constabulary, County Fermanagh, when an IRA unit attacked. The following day, another British soldier was killed by members of the official IRA in Newry. John Warnock, 18, was killed in a landmine attack on a British Army mobile patrol passing Derrybeg Park, Newry, County Down. On the 5th of September, the Army Council of the IRA proposed the idea of a 9-county Ulster Assembly, Dal Ula, in a set of constitutional proposals which were reported in the Republican News on the 11th of September. The Assembly was to be one of 4 regional assemblies covering the whole of any future united Ireland. The fact that the Ulster Assembly would have a Unionist majority was considered as meeting Unionist concerns over being swamped in any new republic. On the 6th of September, Annette McGavigan, 14, was shot dead by a British soldier during street disturbances, while standing at the corner of Blucher Street and Westland Street, Derry. There is a mural close to the site where she died. The mural of Annette, deliberately standing in what the artists considered an innocent pose, is a representation of all the children who have been killed during the Troubles, both Protestant and Catholic. On the same day, William Craig and Ian Paisley spoke at a rally at Victoria Park in Belfast before a crowd of approximately 20,000 people. They called for the establishment of a third force to defend Ulster. This was taken to mean the establishment of a paramilitary force in addition to the Royal Ulster Constabulary and British Army. On the 8th of September, Labour Party leader Harold Wilson announced details of a plan for a united Ireland. During an interview, Mr. Wilson was asked, "Some of the things you suggest, like constitutional commissions, Westminster could impose on Stormont. But they couldn't impose it on Dublin, this sort of thing. Are you suggesting Dublin would accept that?" To which he replied, "I didn't suggest imposing it. What I want Mr. Reith to do, and this is why in a 2-day debate I said, don't come to a decision. Think about it. Is first of all talks with the political parties in the House of Commons at Westminster, then broaden it to bring in all the political parties, including those that are not taking their place in Northern Ireland politics. And then we try and work out if we can get the basis to make the next move, a conference. It shouldn't be between governments, I think, because of the feelings of minorities in different parts of the areas concerned. And then we tried to get all the parties, the major parties in the Southern Ireland Parliament, to join with the Stormont parties and the Westminster parties to try and work out a constitutional commission, to see if we can work out as one solution a play by which 15 years from now Ireland will be reunited with real safeguards for the North. It's going to be hell for a lot of people. It's going to be hell for the people in the South to accept, for example, that they should join the Commonwealth and accept the Queen as head of the Commonwealth, but I think people in the North want to maintain a link with the Queen in that way. The following day there was another death in Northern Ireland due to the ongoing conflict. Royal Army Ordnance Corps disposal expert Captain David Stewardson, 29, died while attempting to defuse a bomb at Castle Robin Orange Hall, Drummond Kelly, near Lisburn, County Antrim. On the 12th of September, after the introduction of internment, Catholic Cardinal of Ireland William Conway, 6 bishops and his fellow northern bishops issued a statement in which they both criticised internment and denounced the Provisional IRA as the small group of people who are trying to secure a united Ireland by the use of force. In a much-quoted phrase of the Cardinals, the statement went on to pose the question, who in their sane senses wants to bomb 1 million Protestants into a united Ireland? Between the 13th of September and the end of the month, there were a further 12 deaths in Northern Ireland, bringing the total for the month to 19. 2 Loyalists, James Finlay, 31, and John Thompson, 21, were mortally injured when the bomb they were preparing exploded prematurely in a house in Ban Street, Belfast. Finlay died on the 21st of September, and Thompson died on the 12th of October. 2 British soldiers, Martin Carroll, 23, and John Rudman, 21, were killed in separate shooting incidents in Derry and Edendork, near Coal Island, County Tyrone. Carroll was shot by a sniper at a British Army base, Eastway Gardens, Cregan, Derry. Rudman was shot while on British Army mobile patrol, Edendork, near Coal Island, County Tyrone. Another soldier was seriously injured during the incident in Derry, which took place at the Army base in the old Essex factory. A Catholic civilian was shot dead in the early hours of the next morning at the same Army base. The Catholic civilian was William McGreenery, 43, who was shot dead by a British soldier in the early hours of the morning on the 15th of September as he made his way home. McGreenery was at the junction of Westland Street and Lone Moor Road when he was shot by a soldier in a Sanger in the Army base in the old Essex factory. The soldier who shot him made a statement at the time, stating he had fired at a man aiming a rifle at his post. Friends and eyewitnesses said that Mr. McGreenery was unarmed when he was shot. On the 20th of June 2010, a historical inquiries team report into the shooting concluded that it is the view of the HET that he was not pointing a rifle at the soldier at the time. He was not involved with any paramilitary organization. He was not carrying a firearm of any description, and he posed no threat to the soldiers at the observation post. On the same day, British soldier Paul Carter, 21, died one day after being shot outside the Royal Victoria Hospital, Belfast. In response to the proposed tripartite talks involving Northern Ireland, Britain and the Republic of Ireland, a number of Unionists resigned on the 16th of September. The body of a man who had been shot was also found in Belfast on the 16th of September. The body found in a car on Downing Street, Belfast, was of UVF member Samuel Nelson, 46. It's reported that he had been killed by other UVF members as a suspected informer. British soldier Peter Harrington, 28, was shot and killed by an IRA sniper while on British Army foot patrol at Brompton Park, Ardoyne, Belfast on the 17th of September. Royal Ulster Constabulary officer Robert Leslie, 20, was shot and killed by the IRA while on RUC foot patrol at Abercorn Square, Strabane, County Tyrone on the 18th of September 1971. On the 20th of September, the IRA exploded a bomb in the Bluebell Bar in the Loyalist Sandy Row area, injuring 27 people. This wouldn't be the last pub targeted in Northern Ireland over the coming weeks. The 23rd of September saw a patrol boat belonging to the Northern Ireland Fishery Conservancy Board being bombed and wrecked by an IRA unit at Derry Inver, Lough Neagh. On the same day, 2 members of the official IRA were killed in a premature bomb explosion at a house on Merrion Street, Lower Falls, Belfast. They were Rose Curry, 18, and Gerard O'Hare, 17. The next few days saw some political developments in Northern Ireland. David Bleakley resigned as Minister of Community Relations in protest over the introduction of internment and the lack of any new political initiatives by the Northern Ireland government, and there was a series of tripartite talks over 2 days involving the Prime Ministers of Northern Ireland, Britain, and the Prime Minister of the Republic of Ireland, which took place at Chequers, England. On the 29th of September, 2 Protestant civilians, Alexander Andrews, 60, and Ernest Bates, 38, were killed in an explosion at the Four Step Inn on the Shankill Road in Belfast. No group claimed responsibility, but it was believed to be the responsibility of the Provisional IRA. September ended with a major political development. Ian Paisley and Desmond Bowl launched the Democratic Unionist Party, the DUP. Thanks for listening to this episode of Tales of the Troubles. If you enjoyed this episode or any others, please like or comment to help the algorithm reach other like-minded people. To ensure you never miss an episode, please click the follow button and enable notifications. If you have family or friends who would also like this podcast, please share. Stay tuned for our next episode, where we take a closer look at October 1971.